Chattisfying.
Oh, bring it on. Bring it
So,
on. I'm ready. Ready for you. Come on!
You ready for this?
Ready.
Okay,
Ready.
so tell us about everything Thehairyhippo, about your stream, about your YouTube. Talk to us about you.
How far back do you want to go?
To the beginning of when you started streaming, I guess.
Okay,
Well, no, actually, you can go back further than that because I know that you did YouTube before that.
I was born in 1986.
You don't need to go back that far.
Okay. I'm sorry. During the war, no. So I started off. Long story short, I'm a huge World of Warcraft fan. Big World of Warcraft fan. Love it.
Same.
And it's so much fun. And because I've been on it for like 16 years now. I can't believe it's 16 years. It's crazy. It's gone too fast. Although if you're in the future, it's probably 17 now.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. How long it's been.
Yeah. It's been 28 years of World of Warcraft, and we're still here. So I started off World of Warcraft, and I loved it. And I have quite the personality, so I've been told. Some people like me, some people dislike me. I don't care. I am me. But one of my friends said, "You're a funny guy," and I'm like, I try, but I'm just being me. And they go, "You should do stuff." I said, "All right, then, I'll do stuff." So I was part of this community, just as a person who takes on all their content and just engorges on it all. And it was called Warcraft Memes, and it was on Facebook. And they just basically post memes of Warcraft. It was just great. It was glorious. All these things about paladins and bubble earthing and all this kind of stuff. It was fun. I enjoyed it. So I decided I'd make a couple. And I did. And one of them went semi-viral. And it was quite a shock, really. I was like, oh, this went quite well. So I spent about a year doing memes and stuff like that. And just every so often I thought of something funny, give it a go, all that kind of stuff. And it was doing all right. And then the owner of the Warcraft meme server, or the group, or sorry, I should say, and his missus were doing a guild on Stormreaver, which was on the American side, because I play on the American servers because, you know, I'm cultured and they need it. They need the tea, yes, before they chuck it in the water again. But yeah, I like to throw a bit of history lessons in there. That's what I do. This is a very, very,
very highbrow, darling.
Show. Yeah, highbrow. Watch. Yes. So they invited. They said, if you want to come along and join the guild, you're more than welcome to. So I joined the guild, and then they kind of broke up, unfortunately, and he went off his own way, and she carried on with the guild. So I hung up with her because I was in the guild and that stuff, and it was a good time. She said, "Yeah, you're a funny guy." And I'm like, "Well, do you know what? I hear it a lot. Some people say these things," and she goes, "You should come on my stream." I was like, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah, come on my stream." So I came on her stream, and her viewer base just loved me and said, "You're absolutely funny as hell," and all this kind of stuff, and you're a great laugh and all this kind of shit. And I was like, "Okay, cool." And they said, "Oh, you also seem to know a lot about stuff." I was like, "Yes, when it comes to World of Warcraft, I'm a little bit of a lore hound. I do like a little bit of lore." So I did a bit, and they said, "You should do some YouTube videos." I was like, "Do you know what? I think I should." So I did, and I spent about a year and a bit doing YouTube videos, and I thought, you know what? As much as I love video editing, I kind of want to give streaming a go. And to be fair, World of Warcraft wasn't my first game. I tried, occasionally, this one bit every 6 months, just trying to stream out, and wasn't really feeling the vibe a few years back and stuff like that. And this one game came on called Minion Masters, and it's like this, I don't know how to describe it. It's a fighty game thing with minions, and you're a master, and it still says it all in the name, really. And they had this thing in the main menu screen where they have this featured streamer on Twitch playing the game, and it was the person who had the most views, and no one was on. I was like, oh, well, this is an ideal opportunity. So I went on and I streamed it, and I was in the game, shown as a featured streamer. And on my first night, I had about 40 people in.
Nice.
And I was like, well, this is interesting. And that's how, for those of you who may know him, Swango found me. Was on my first ever proper stream, and he loved me, and he was like, "I'm sending everyone your way." And I'm like, okay, who are you? Who are you? You're just this old man. You're an old man, but okay, send him over. I'll look after him for you. And then for 6 months, we were playing that game, and I was his warm-up act, because I do my I start at 8 and finish at 11, and him being Californian, his time zone was different, so he would start just as I was about to finish, and so I'd stream into him, and it was a really good vibe. And to be fair, I've been doing it ever since, really. Yeah, I went from 6 days a week down to about 4. But that's the joys of me getting older and realizing that I don't have the stamina of a young stud muffin like I am. I have grey in this beard. So, but I do stream 4 nights a week and do 3 hours here and there. Although I will be doing a couple of 24-hour streams down the line. So it's just what I do, and I play a variety of games, whatever I can afford or I love and want to just play. And it's not just that. Sometimes I bring out my guitar and we have some music sessions, and I just sing really badly, or we could just have just chattings, which are kind of impromptu. They're not really what I'm meant to do. It just seems to happen. Like, I'm going to play this game tonight. It's going to be awesome. I've got it all loaded up in the background, ready to go. And then people keep talking, and I'm like, oh, I'll just keep talking then. And then it just ends up being 3 hours of just talking absolute bollocks, and it's great.
Awesome.
Yes, because who doesn't like bollocks?
Well, absolutely.
Exactly. That's why Mel has me here.
So, what would you say is like your main thing at the moment that you stream? Then, what's your sort of big drive at the moment?
Do you know what? Right, I don't care what I stream. I've gotten to the point now that it's less of I'm gonna make it and become like superstar and all that kind of stuff. It's more for me about hanging out with my friends who have been my community for the last. It's coming up to 3 years in January. It'll be 3 years.
Wow.
And they're all regular and like my bowels, and they're just fantastic, and I love them all, and that's what keeps me going. And they've gone to the point where they don't really. I mean, I knew straight away that I am crap at games. I mean, I play them, but you're never going to get me being any good at anything. And so they've also realized that no matter what game I play, it's mainly about hanging out and having a laugh and me entertaining them myself than the actual gameplay itself, which I'm more than happy with, which actually frees me up a lot more to play stuff. Like at the moment, at the time of recording this, Shadowlands is coming out in a couple of weeks for World of Warcraft, so I'm in the World of Warcraft frame of mind, so I'm playing a lot more classic or retail or something like that. So, and I don't mind that so much because, again, I spend more time looking at the chat and talking to the viewers than actually realizing that I'm getting ganked by a load of Alliance scum.
So would you say that you sort of get really into something for a while and you sort of have like a big thrust of it, and then you do something else for a bit, and then maybe you go back to the other thing for a bit later?
Yeah, I'm very bingy.
Very bingy. Very bingy.
Yeah, I definitely say. I think that's with any gamer, really, though. That you'll find a game that you like, and you spend weeks on it, and then suddenly you go back to another shiny thing, and then you're like, and then a couple of years down the line, you go, "Oh my god, Dragon Age was badass! I should play that again," or something like that. It's just, I think that's just the nature of gamers, and luckily, I get the opportunity to be able to portray that within streaming, whereas a lot of people tend to be kind of typecast into a certain game, and then they're stuck there forever.
Yeah,
which I'm so grateful that I'm not.
Yeah, totally.
Luckily, I'm crap at them.
So you mentioned a couple of 24-hour streams that are coming up. Tell us a bit more about that. Those.
So again, I play on the American servers for World of Warcraft, which means that they officially launched their the expansion for Shadowlands at 6 p.m. their time, which is 11 p.m. our time.
So they get it first.
No. We get it all at the same time,
okay.
But it's at 11 p.m. our time, which is a nuisance.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's so cool. I don't mind that too much because they're probably half of them probably still be at work anyway, or just leaving work and having dinner, and I can catch on with it. Whereas everyone over in the UK will be like, "Yes, let's get ready to rock! It's way past my bedtime, but I'm good to go." But so what I've decided to do is I've took the 23rd, the 24th, and the 25th off. The 23rd, I will sleep throughout the day and then get ready a couple hours beforehand and do a pre-launch event kind of thing on stream. Then we'll get straight into it, and I've got various people coming in and out throughout the 24-hour session of me gaming and basically trying to level as far as I can get and explore the world at the same time and enjoy it all and not miss anything. Because it's all new, shiny, lovely stuff, and I have proper magpie syndrome, so everything is shiny. I'll go at it and go, "This is mine. It's my shiny. It's my shiny now." But I'll have people like my friend Ramekin will be in, my brother Jazale will be in, Bob the Canadian guy is going to be jumping in and out every so often when he can, because I think he might be working, but he did say he was booking it off. Swango will be there, all the American chaps and all that kind of stuff, just hanging out and having people coming in. So it's just not just going to be me slowly losing the will to live 2 hours after my stream has started because I'm tired already, but it's kind of planned and thought out. And I will have breaks where I will be downing and doing eyeball shots of Red Bull or something just to keep me going, like something out of like Kevin Perry Go Large. Let's go, let's do it. That's an old reference to people who are young.
I remember Kevin and Perry.
Yeah, that's because you were a similar age and you look young, and I look like the crypt keeper that's ate a lot the people, to be fair.
Not at all.
But yeah, that's coming up. So I'll be streaming from I believe I'll start about 9:30 in the evening my time, and then generally after a 24-hour session we have a bit of a party where we play some, well, we used to play fun music, but now it'd be fun, funky, non-copyright music that sound like a party vibe. And then after that it'll be a chill out in Discord afterwards for another hour, and then I will probably be half concussed in my chair and dribbling wreck, and then I'll have basically the Wednesday to recover, essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I'm back to work on Thursday.
Happy days.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be fun. I've never done a 24-hour stream myself. I don't think I'd be able to do it, but
it's definitely better with people. I've watched so many people do it solo, and I don't know if you've noticed it, but a lot of people tend to go highs and lows within their short time of stream. Anyway, you've got the hype that's going on, that you start the stream, then you kind of get focused and you forget you're streaming, and then stuff like that. So having people come in and out and just talk to you, like actually hear them talking, revitalizes you and keeps you going. And my first ever time I did 24 hours, I was glad it was done, but at the same time I could have gone for another 4 or 5 hours afterwards.
Yeah.
And I love my bed more than life itself. I love you, bed. So, yeah, sorry, it's over there. She's missing me.
Aww.
I call her Sheila. She's a big girl. Sorry, that's my bed still. I don't actually have a woman in my bed because I'm still alone.
Aww.
Anyway, yes, that's me. Hi.
Awesome. So, what's been your favourite game to stream so far, would you say?
In terms of popularity, would have been Minion Masters, and I thoroughly enjoyed that, but that was a big hype. Actually, tell a lie, RuneScape was my most popular game.
RuneScape.
I did a week-long exploring RuneScape, because I played RuneScape when it first came out, and everyone was on Windows 95 kind of thing, at school. That was my first, and I hadn't played it since school. So bear in mind, I'm 34. That's a long time. So I was recommended it by a viewer of mine who works with Jagex. Actually works in the RuneScape headquarters and stuff like that, which is really cool. And said, look, give it a go for a week, see how it goes. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll give it a go. And then and within that week, I was very busy, very popular as well. Actually, I was at one stage, I think it was like a Wednesday or a Thursday, I was in like the top 20 of Runecraft streamers at the time, which was really odd. But then that's how I met Bob, the Canadian guy. Was through Runecraft. He found me randomly wandering around aimlessly, going, "No, I don't know what I'm doing." And I think he gifted me a penguin and a lot of gold. I think that was the case. And but yeah, that was my most popular game. The game I really love to play, though, again, it'll always be World of Warcraft as a predominant factor because I love that kind of thing. But I think any retro game that I can grab my hands on, like for example, Steam did a Mega Drive and Master System legalized emulator as such and stuff, and so I got to play like Altered Beast and stuff like that, which I used to play as a kid, and the original Sonic, which was really cool to play. The original
8-bit Sonic on the Master System.
Yes,
I love that game.
Yeah, they do a bundle, and I think it's like 20 quid, and you get like 100 games or some shit like that. It's crazy. Yeah. And then they released a Dreamcast version, so I was able to play Crazy Taxi, which was one of my favorite games when I had a Dreamcast, and I think those are my favorite moments because I get to relive my youth and say, and it's like when I talk about lore in World of Warcraft, I get this like giggy feeling of like lovely, warm, fuzzy shit going on.
It's the nerd feeling.
It's a nerd feeling, yeah. So when I'm driving around listening to like Offspring and stuff like that in Crazy Taxi, because it had an amazing soundtrack, like any Tony Hawk's game has like the best soundtracks ever.
Yeah,
it's all encompassing. I just feel like I'm going back to my youth, and it's wonderful. And I love that because, yeah, it's just nice. So playing those kind of things, but ultimately, like as a steady favorite, it's always going to be World of Warcraft, whether I'm raiding or getting mogs and stuff. Because we'll go to somewhere, and then I'll just randomly go off on a tangent about what's significant lore-wise in that area, and I just like explaining things, and people are like, "Oh, I didn't realize that." Like, I have guildies who started in Legion, which is a couple of expansions ago now, as soon as Shadowlands comes out, and they don't know what Arthas the Lich King's about, but have slayed him and got invincible, but don't know what Arthas is about. And so I'm explaining the whole like history behind Arthas, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And I know you can go watch it on YouTube, but I seem to have this like informal, common way of explaining shit. Like that guy went into that cave over there, and he pulled a sword out, and it shattered, and it blew like a fucking bit of ice in this little dwarf bloke, but isn't a dwarf because it's Warcraft 3 and had really bad graphics, but he looked like a dwarf, but he's not a dwarf. Sorry, Uther.
You distill it for the lowest common denominator, right?
Yeah.
I think we're going to get on very well.
Yeah, I just feel like if you talk like you're common muck, everybody understands it, and I'm common muck. I used to be middle class once, but not anymore. Yeah.
You fell off the ladder.
I downgraded. Desperate times, man. Desperate times.
Amazing. So on the flip side of that, has there ever been a game that is just you've hated, or maybe one that's just gone down like a sack of poo with your community?
World of Warcraft has gone down like a sack of poo. Initially, it went down like a sack of poo.
Right.
Like in my first year of streaming, I would try and flip from like Mini Masters or something, or like Choice Chamber or something like that, and go to World of Warcraft because something's happened in there, and I want to play with my friends. And everyone's like, "Yeah, I'm not coming in to watch that. It's boring." And then I think now that I'm almost 3 years in, as I said, my community's been built up enough that they understand that it's not about the game; it's about hanging out with friends, kind of thing, and having chat. So it's okay. So I can, like I said, I'm lucky now that I can stream whatever I want to stream, and people are intrigued or they don't really care what I'm streaming and stuff like that. So, but World of Warcraft was my worst to stream. Bear in mind, I have I think it's like 340 odd subscribers on YouTube that still message me to this day saying, "When are you going to make new content?" And I do try to make new content. But, I work for a living. And I have over 500 followers on Facebook for my memes, so I've got that, and I post that up. It doesn't do well, or didn't do well initially. It didn't do well. But as for a game I hate personally to play, I don't know. It's a tough one. I find choice games difficult, like Immortal Redneck, Choice Chamber, that kind of thing,
right?
Where it's Twitch integrated, right. So people have a choice of what happens to you, whether they give you nice things or bad things, because then you really see who the dicks are in your chat. Yeah, and I'm like, I don't like this. I hate this. I just want, like, Immortal Redneck, right? Is you're playing as a redneck that's been mummified and he's come back to life, and he's got a shotgun and he's got some dynamite, and you go into a temple, like a big pyramid in Egypt, and it's all level by level roguelike style. And you go in, and then they have the choices whether they can change your weapons for you, or improve your health, or make you worse, make you one-shottable, make them one-shottable, all that kind of stuff. And they all choose. And I just want to get to the top of the pyramid. That's all I want to do. They don't let me do it. I've never done it. And it's so boring to play when you haven't got people buffing you up. I just have to bribe my viewers. I think that's what I need to do. You want free candy? Give me some nice buffs. Yeah, it's easier that way. But I think choice games are, because I think they bring the trolls as well. If you're playing Choice Chamber, you have... I was playing Choice Chamber once, and one of the developers came in and had a custom code as such, that if they wrote it in Twitch, it gave me a unique dev buff.
Right.
And they did that to me once, which was really cool. And they said, "Glad you really enjoyed the game." And then a load of I think I had gotten raided by 40 or 50 people or something like that. And they came in and they were just all just destroying the game and making it increasingly uncomfortable and flooding my chat with it and all that kind of stuff. So there was some real negatives. I was playing choice style games.
I see. I've never tried.
I don't like that kind of stuff. But if you've got a decent community that stick around and all that kind of stuff, and a decent mod team that can ban every fucker on the planet that's a dick, then it's okay.
I think my main takeaway from everything that you've just said is if you want to stream World of Warcraft, you have to stream for a year first. Yeah.
You either start your career as World of Warcraft centric, and then you need to find a niche. You need to either be a lore master or a PvP master, or you run a top guild that does hardcore raiding. Otherwise, no one cares. Asmongold is up there because he's the biggest douchebag on the planet. But I've actually met, as in I've spoken with Asmongold, and he's a lovely guy off of his streams and off of his YouTube videos. He's really sweetheart. Right. But he brings everybody gets angry nerd boy going on, and you're like, "Oh, you're a fucking dick." But he embellishes it. Yeah, you're adorable. You're sweet. I know you've never nerd raged. It's okay. Yeah. Any Zelda game ever?
I'm not saying anything.
Okay. But yeah, the people have to find their niche in certain games. If you're going to be this game only kind of guy, you need to be very good at it. Or you can be like me and have somewhat of a personality as a main focus, and then you build your community and do the long term, and then you can stream what you want to stream.
Awesome.
That's kind of my biggest advice on that one.
Yeah, cool.
Because I ain't no speedrunner.
No, me either. So you've kind of gone talked about sort of the Shadowlands coming out, the very sort of near future. But have you got any sort of big plans for the future of the channel that you're happy to reveal?
Yes. Kind of like it's the best way to describe this. I'm going to be venturing out to do other stuff.
Other stuff.
Yes, still within Twitch parameters.
I'm so intrigued.
It's long-term goals, and I'm talking like really long time, and it's been delayed a hell of a lot because of the situation with COVID and all that kind of stuff. So, and being as we're recording in lockdown 2.0. So the long-term plans was, for example, this year I was planning a trip to go to Canada, to go to Montreal. I was going to be going to Marrakesh as well this year, where I was going to be doing live vlogging.
Cool.
So much so that I actually I googled up to make sure I can get stream kits and stuff like. You can rent stream kits in like Canada and America and stuff like that. So you get a big backpack with a huge like battery in it. You get like the stick and everything like that, and you can rent it. And it costs like $200 to do it. And then you can just like send yourself out to the world and have perfect internet and stream. So I was going to live vlog. So I'm going to do a lot of more travel-centric things. I also want to do some travel-centric things around here as well, because my mate Jay, who comes over from the United States, wants to visit everywhere in the UK, which I know we're small, but there's a lot of it. There's a lot of things to see in the UK. So when he first came over here, we did, what did we do? We did London, we did Cardiff, we did Liverpool, we did Stratford upon Avon. You know, we visited a lot of places in the short space of time we've been being here, and he kind of wants to do that again, which is kind of cool because he wants to do Cornwall and he wants to do Blackpool. Now, if anybody knows UK geography at all, it's not the easiest A to B, and there's a lot of stuff you can see in the middle.
I think I know quite a few Americans would probably want to hit you right now, though, because I mean, the UK is pretty small compared. Yeah. Like, they'd be like, "Oh, it's just round the corner, mate." Dry up.
It really is, yeah. Like he said to me, like you could fit our entire country into like one of their states and stuff like that. You know, to get from one side to another could take 7 hours. But my bone of contention that is that there's a lot more stuff to see in this country because we're a lot more compact. Like if you think going from Cornwall alone, you've got Penzance, you've got which is like pirate coves and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. You've got Wookiee holes, and you've got like people not even gonna know that, but you need to Google that shit. It's really cool. It's a cave full of witches. You've got Stonehenge, and that's just on the M5, and you've got Bath, which is Roman area and all that kind of stuff, and also got Roman architecture, which is older than the birthing of the United States of America when they became that. There's a lot of stuff. There's castles galore to see on the way. Then you go up the left side, you got Gloucester, which is absolutely stunning. You got Worcestershire, which is absolutely incredible. Birmingham, which is like one of the birthplaces of the whole like Steel Revolution, all that kind of stuff. The irons and all that kind of stuff. The ironworks. You got the canal districts, which are absolutely fantastic, seeing all the things on the canals. And that's not even before we've got halfway up to Blackpool yet.
Yeah,
that's like a week and a half alone. Whereas like if you travelled from one state to another, there's a lot of open space and farmland.
Yeah.
Everything we have is compact.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone speak so excitedly about Birmingham before.
I like Birmingham because they do amazing kebabs. And it was where the korma was invented.
Oh, yeah. I know the korma is a British invention. Yeah, there you go.
The korma was invented in Birmingham. Birmingham? Yeah. I can't do accents. I'm never going to try again.
You got anything, any other hot scoops about new stuff to your channel?
Yeah, I'm also saving my pennies at the moment to get myself a Zwift.
What's that?
Okay, so push bikes, bicycles, right? You take the back wheel off, you attach it to a machine, and put all the gear bits onto the machine as well. It attaches to the PC, and you play a cycling game on your PC. But it's like if you want to cycle through London, do a track in London that they have going around, like the hot spots. You can play that in game, and then the machine simulates like the heights and all that kind of stuff in terms of.
So, let me get this straight, right? You get to stream, stay indoors, and exercise all at the same time.
Yes,
that's like a win-win-win-win, isn't it?
So they basically add resistance to your gears and all that kind of stuff. So it feels like if you're going up a hill, it feels like you're going up a hill.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Downside, it's very expensive.
how expensive roughly are we talking?
They have 3 models for their machine that they have: the cheap, medium, and expensive. The cheap one is about €800.
Whoa. Wow.
And then it comes to $1,000, and then it's about $2,000 for the top-notch one. However, you can get like knockoff ones, like you can get spin bikes that you can attach with a little dongle thing that costs like 60 quid or something like that.
Okay.
So it's not too bad. But I don't have a bike. I don't have a Zwifty thing. And the Zwift itself is a monthly subscription, but they do like 24 hours a day, various cycles. So like, you know, there could be a bike ride going through Paris, and they've built Paris into the game. So in that track, so that segment they've done, they've emulated with like graphicals and stuff like that. So even though it's a game graphics, it's still cycling through. Like, you know, when you go through Grand Theft Auto 5 and you see like you're driving through a city, it actually looks like a city when you're driving through. It's that kind of vibe. So like in the distance, you'll see Eiffel Tower and stuff like that. But you're cycling. You can cycle with friends. You can cycle alone. You can choose. You know, you want to go up like the Canadian, you've got the Rockies or something like that. There will be a ride that you can do to do the Rockies.
Is it VR? Sorry to interrupt.
I believe it has a VR option. But I'm not 100% sure. But it's basically like, for example, my colleague has it, and who told me about it, which is why I was very intrigued by it. Has his tablet on a little plinth in front of him, and he just cycles and watches the plinth. But I've got a green screen, baby.
Right.
Added bit of fun of putting that into the game. So I could have, you know, I could cycle, have a green screen showing behind where I've been while showing the game that I'm on, you know, all that kind of stuff. It'd be really cool.
Yeah, it'd be pretty much like you are actually cycling there, essentially, to all intents and purposes.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a very expensive long-term saving up tool, but I'm thinking as a fat person, and I don't want to go out around here, because around here, if you're on a bicycle, cars are going to attempt to hit you on purpose. So I'd rather do it from the comfort of my own home, and I could do it then.
That's amazing.
So I could get healthy and do it. So I could do a once a week stream where let's cycle through the Algarve or something like that, you know, and find a track that's doing that, you know.
That'd be amazing. Yeah. Or you could cycle the entire outback of Australia. It would probably it would take weeks, but at least you could say you'd done it. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
That'd be amazing.
I think it's brilliant. And it looks amazing. It really does. But it's very expensive. But, you know, you save up after a few months, you can get things, can't you? That's the whole point of saving.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Either that or a blow up doll. So
I think that will do.
Sorry, I had to get the seriousness out of the way there a little bit. There we go. Yeah.
Awkward silence.
So yeah, to run it down, I want to do some travel vlogging, but live vlogging kind of thing, and hopefully some exercise routines and stuff like that.
Yeah, honestly, that all sounds really like super exciting. I love the fact on your channel. I mean, you kind of mentioned it earlier, but I love the fact that there's so much variety, and you're so willing to try different things. It's definitely, look at me now. It's definitely a reason to follow Thehairyhippo.
Yeah, just don't bring the candle wax. That shit burns, and I'm hairy. I set a blaze. Okay, it's terrible. I look like a forest fire.
So I think that will probably do, as long as you're good.
Chattisfying.